You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. An Easter Sunday fire in the city of Hazleton left 7 people displaced. Firefighters were dispatched to 746 North Locust Street around 1:30 Sunday afternoon. Crews found heavy smoke and fire coming from the rear of the structure. One person was treated at the scene and another taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton for treatment. One firefighter also sustained a knee injury. Residents of the home were being helped by the American Red Cross, and the cause of the fire is under investigation by a state police fire marshal. A total of 19 people were temporarily displaced following a Saturday night fire in Wilkes-Barre. Flames broke out shortly before 5 p.m. in the back of a home on South Wells Street. Multiple apartment units sustained damage, but fortunately, all residents made it out safe. Numerous pets were also evacuated, including dogs, cats, and a rabbit. Many of the units suffered fire damage, while the others sustained water and smoke damage. The fire was brought under control within an hour and is currently being investigated. Governor Tom Wolf and governors from surrounding states have announced a multi-state council to restore the economy. Wolf's working with Governors Andrew Cuomo, Phil Murphy, Ned Lamont, John Carney, and Gina Raimondo to create a multi-state council that'll include one health expert, an economic development expert, and respective chiefs of staff from each state. The members will work together to develop a fully integrated regional framework to gradually lift the state's stay-at-home orders and get people back to work safely, while minimizing the risk of increased spread of the coronavirus. According to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, 39 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed in Luzerne County. The county has a total of 1,411 cases, which has risen from 1,372. 4 people have died, bringing the number to 21 deaths. Individuals who have tested positive for the virus are either being treated in hospitals or at home in isolation. Over 102,000 patients have tested negative across the state as of yesterday. Pennsylvania is still under a stay-at-home order until April 30th to mitigate the spread of the virus. Employees at the Amazon Fulfillment Center were informed about coronavirus cases at the facility. Though a spokesperson for Amazon did not provide an exact number of cases at the Humboldt Industrial Park location, some employees say nearly 38 cases were confirmed last weekend. Amazon is said to be taking measures by checking temperatures of employees daily, providing masks, and supporting social distancing guidelines, as well as enacting extensive cleaning efforts. A Schuylkill County man is behind bars for trying to force his way into a residence in hometown. The Rush Township Police Department received a report of a burglary in process Saturday morning. 47-year-old Robert Stalter, Jr. of Rush Township, allegedly tried to gain entry into a home on Linwood Street. He was currently out on bail for another offense and was also identified as a suspect in another attempted burglary at a different address in hometown. He was charged with burglary, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was taken to Schuylkill County Prison for lack of $50,000 straight cash bail. A Wilkes-Barre man tried to break into a residence Saturday night. Police were called to a home on Church Street around 10 p.m. for a report of a break-in. A female who lives at the home told police the stranger tried to break in her home and she fired a shot at him in self-defense. The suspect was identified as 30-year-old Jeremy Battle, who fled the scene in a red Dodge. Police later located him sitting inside the vehicle outside of Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. He was treated for a wound to his leg and taken into custody. He faces charges of aggravated assault, simple assault, criminal trespass, reckless endangerment, and possession of a prohibited firearm. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for lack of $125,000 bail. The Schuylkill County District Attorney and detectives are asking for the public's help finding a woman who failed to appear in court last year. Detectives say 26-year-old Cheyenne Sensenbach failed to appear at the Schuylkill County Courthouse February 20th of 2019 for her formal arraignments. The original charge against Sensenbach was felony conspiracy to commit and possession with intent to manufacture or deliver a controlled substance. Detectives said Sensenbach is white, about 5 feet 3 inches tall, and weighs around 130 pounds. Her last known address is 111 North Jardin Street in Shenandoah. Anyone with information on her whereabouts or any other Schuylkill County fugitive is asked to call the District Attorney's Office at 570-628-1350 or Schuylkill County Tip Line at 570-624-3988. Also, anyone who may see or come in contact with her is asked to call the Schuylkill County Communications Center or their local police department immediately. One church was able to hold service Easter Sunday while maintaining social distancing and ensuring the safety of its congregation. WYLN's Phil Kaufman has more.
This Easter Sunday, we return to St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Mountaintop for their drive-in Easter service following their test run from Palm Sunday last week.
We did this with some trepidation, not knowing how it was all going to turn out. We had the blessing of our local police department, went over all the various opportunities that we were taking to protect the public and our membership. So we're looking forward to next Sunday.
Upon arriving at St. Paul's, you pull up to a stand operated by volunteers wearing masks and gloves, where you're given a paper bag containing a bulletin to follow along, as well as a new method for communion.
We bought pre-packaged communion wafers and cups, allowing each individual card to open up the communion rather than to distribute as we normally would.
Once you've received your materials, you can drive towards the service area where masked ushers guide you to your parking spot. Once situated and comfy, all that's left to do is to turn on the radio and listen. St. Paul's has now held 2 outdoor drive-in services, as well as multiple services posted online. They plan to continue doing so moving forward.
Questions been raised as to whether or not we're going to continue this. As long as the pandemic continues and we are to observe social distancing, most likely we'll continue to offer services to our membership and others this way.
Reporting from St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Mountaintop, this is Philip Kaufman with WYLN News.
Thanks, Phil. Coming up on WYLN News, high winds leave damage in their wake, plus some outdoors advice from DCNR. But first, a reminder that the National Weather Service issued a tornado watch for Luzerne County until 6 p.m. Now, a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by our WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's pretty windy out and very strong, so you better hold on to something if you go outside.
Hey everyone, this is Ting, physical therapist at Physical Therapy Balance Centers. What I'd like to share with you today is 3 very basic exercises you can do at home in the comfort of your living room, sitting down on a chair. So exercise number 1 is basically a squat. So if you have a chair, go ahead and just stand up, sit down again, stand up, sit down again. Exercise number 2 is a very simple crunch. What you do is sit on the edge of the chair, lean back, and crunch yourself up like this. You can do 10, 15 of these depending on your expert level. You can also do 3 push-ups. So I'm going to turn the chair sideways. What you can do is hold onto the chair, lift your legs out straight if you can. If you can't, do it on your knees, and just lower yourself down and push yourself back up again like that. So 3 very simple exercises you can start doing at home while you're watching TV from the comfort of your own couch.
WYLN presents Community Update on the Coronavirus, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. with rebroadcast at 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. the following morning. Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network, PBS 39, Adams Outdoor, and WYLN TV 35, we're your local network.
High winds took about a quarter of Wilkes-Barre City Hall's roof with them this morning, forcing them to close temporarily. A section of the roof was lifted over North Washington Street around 8:40 this morning and smashed into a parking garage across the street. Debris was also scattered throughout the neighboring area. It's likely that City Hall will be closed for around 2 weeks. We'll have more details for you once they're made available. New federal unemployment benefits were put into place, where eligible claimants get an extra $600 starting next week. The COVID-19 relief package will temporarily provide an additional $600 per week, while making self-employed, independent contractors and gig workers eligible for benefits, and extends unemployment compensation benefits for an additional 13 weeks. These benefits are in addition to Pennsylvania's regular unemployment benefits, which is about half of a person's full-time weekly income, up to $572 per week for 26 weeks. Many of us are itching to get back to some normalcy, especially spending time outside. Our Julie Stefanovich has some advice from DCNR Secretary Cindy Adams-Dunn.
Springtime is here. The weather's warming up and the outdoors are calling. Far too many people have been cooped up due to COVID-19 and are in need of some fresh air. Getting back to nature is good for both mind and body, but recommendations for social distancing still apply.
A lot of people are seeking the outdoors today for stress, for physical exercise, and to commune with nature and to just enjoy the spring coming on. But one thing to keep in mind, it's not safe just because you're outdoors. You have to think about taking special precautions that you might take everywhere else. You need to maintain social distance of at least 6 feet and be careful of any surface that you touch.
Dunn says that it's a good idea to have a game plan before you leave your house.
Have in mind where you want to go, but have a couple backups in mind. Print any maps, make any plans that you need ahead of time. If you arrive somewhere and it's crowded, move on. Don't crowd into a place that already has too many people. That's why it's important to plan ahead.
Also, be mindful of picking up after yourself when you're out in the great outdoors.
You need to carry out your trash with you at this time. Most parks do not have the same number of staff available as they usually do. So if you bring water, a snack, hand sanitizer, plan to take everything back with you. Take a bag along. It's important that we respect nature at this time and take care of our public lands. Don't trample plants. Stay on the trails. Don't destroy any habitats. We want this to all be there for when this pandemic is over and our parks and forests are fully open again.
Other tips for avoiding crowds is to spend time in your own backyard or take a walk around your neighborhood, especially during a less busy time of the day like the early morning hours. Information about state parks and forests can be found on the DCNR website. You can also get updates by visiting their Facebook page. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. Coming up on McAdoo's News Choice, we talk with U.S. District Attorney David Freed in Community and You, plus stimulus checks and social distancing. Stay with us.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
Coronavirus is now in our community and changing the way we live, but rest assured that your partners at Lehigh Valley Health Network are here for you. If you think that you have coronavirus or been exposed to someone who does, the most important thing you can do is stay home. Lehigh Valley Health Network is providing free screenings online and by phone. Complete an e-visit, call the MyLVHN hotline, or do an LVHN video visit. Know the symptoms, get the facts, and get screened from home at lvhn.org/COVID-19.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome to Community and You, and today we're talking with the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, David Freed. Nice to have you with us on Community and You.
Thank you.
And you are going to tell us about neighborhoods?
Sure. Project Safe Neighborhoods is a national program rolled out by the Justice Department. This is actually, we call it PSN. This is actually PSN 2.0. The original PSN was back a few years ago when George W. Bush was president. They rolled it out. And based on a program of research and community engagement, law enforcement, to try to put assets to areas of greatest need. And what was shown in the original PSN program, you might remember in the Middle District there were some billboards, do gun crime, get federal time, that sort of thing. And there was some grant money available. That was spread out throughout the district. And what that showed across the country was these sorts of programs can reduce violent crime. Depending on where you are, by large percentages or smaller percentages, depending on your problem. So what this administration saw, I think, when it came in, was violent crime had ticked back up in 2015 and 2016. So a priority of former Attorney General Sessions now being carried on by Attorney General Barr, who I had the opportunity to meet the other day in Washington, sat and said hello, talked about the district a little bit. So that was a great thrill for me. But this administration said, let's get back to PSN. PSN worked. And so that's where we are. So in the Middle District of Pennsylvania, what we've decided to do is really put those efforts into what we see as areas of greatest need. So what does that look like in the Middle District of Pennsylvania? Well, it looks like City of York, City of Harrisburg, generally Wilkes-Barre, Scranton a little bit, Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, and Williamsport. So around here, mostly it's efforts going on working with the folks in Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County DA's office to try to get at violent crime. Now, make no mistake, the heroin and opioids issue is part of this, right? Because violent crime and drug dealing go hand in hand, guns and drug dealing go hand in hand. So we take a pretty expansive view of what Project Safe Neighborhoods means. If we want safe neighborhoods, we've got to attack violent crime and drugs.
So this is from the law enforcement point of view. Are there things that ordinary citizens can do in order to be involved in Project Safe Neighborhood?
Sure. What the part that, and I was looking at some of the statistics that have come out from the department, and what we're really good at, especially in the Justice Department, is forging partnerships with law enforcement. And I have to tell you, the Middle District of Pennsylvania, even before I got into this job, I was a DA before this. This district is known for our law enforcement partnerships, federal, state partnerships, working really well with locals and state together. We don't fight over cases. We send the case to the best place for the case to have success. And so we're really good at the law enforcement part. Where we need to be better is community engagement, engaging with the victims groups. And what people can do is try to get involved, if they've been victims of crime, get involved with victims groups, neighborhood watches, community groups, because those are the sorts of partnerships we're looking for. Just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I had an opportunity to meet with 3 folks, one man who's lost a brother and a sister to an opioid overdose, a woman who lost her son, and a woman who lost her daughter. And they reached out to me. They're very active. They go to Wilkes-Barre City Council, Hazleton Council, Luzerne County council. Yeah, it's council in Luzerne. I have a lot of counties in the Middle District. I have to remember how things are set up, and engage. And they wanted to engage with us in terms of, how can we get more federal assistance? And we know we're working well with partnerships. So I had a wonderful opportunity to sit down with them, and actually had letters that they generated from City Council in Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre and from the Luzerne County Council that I handed over to the Attorney General just this week. And I said, we are looking for as much support as we can get here. We're working together, but we could always use more support.
Now, obviously, you are on the bigger level than county council, city council. So if somebody has something, what would you suggest? Would you suggest starting at that level, or is there a way that they would need to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Well, you can always get in touch with us. We're on the web, Middle District of Pennsylvania. Just Google it and you can find the website. That's how the folks from Luzerne County got involved. They just reached out to the office. And I said I'd be happy to meet with them, and we had an outstanding meeting. So that's one way to go if you think that if a person thinks maybe some federal help would be helpful or would like to engage or ask questions. Now, to me, because I come from that local background too, I think starting local is the best place to start, whether it's your neighborhood, township, borough, city. Start that way, because around here we really do have some good relationships, and if the issue is serious enough, I think it'll find its way up there. And I think what we've seen is attacking these issues at the neighborhood level is absolutely the way to go. It doesn't matter that I'm a federal prosecutor and I work with FBI and DEA and ATF. We're still attacking these problems at the neighborhood level.
But it's somebody like you that can get those other folks involved if it becomes that it's that much of a problem.
Sure. One of the things that the U.S. Attorney can do, just like DA Salavantis can do in Luzerne County or DA Powell can do in Lackawanna County, we can be conveners. Right. Well, one thing that people will do is they'll answer the phone when I call, and if we invite them to a meeting, they'll usually come to a meeting, and so we can convene those groups. Another recent development that we had, and I think it was about a month ago. My schedule's so full, it's hard to keep track, but we had an excellent meeting at Wilkes with members of the Luzerne County Medical Society. So there were some law enforcement folks in there, and there were physicians, everyone from pain management to emergency medicine to family medicine. There was a professor of pharmacy from Wilkes there, and we had a great meeting. Just talked about, there was a trauma surgeon there, and talked about issues. What can we do? How can we combat these overprescribing issues, and just the impact on the community and physicians are having. There was a dentist there from Pittston who was outstanding and very engaged in the project. So we're looking forward to continuing that. So it's those sorts of groups. That was a group of doctors. Could be just a group of citizens, could be a victims group, anybody. I think we all work together, we're going to do better.
And I'm just glad that you were there when I called, and hopefully you'll come back again.
Absolutely.
All right. We'd like to thank once again U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, David Freed, for joining us, and thank you. And we'll see you again on Community and You.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
C.A.R.E.S is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. C.A.R.E.S specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At C.A.R.E.S, the participants are the VIPs. C.A.R.E.S, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
There are 125 used car dealers in town, but there's only one C.A.R.E.S. Quality vehicle since 1954. Voted the best used car dealer. Check out their inventory, see something you like, take a test ride. C.A.R.E.S Auto Sales. Call 570-454-7229.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about visiting a restaurant that has a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we'll be featuring on our show. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Jeff Bonomo and his co-host, Alan Giannetti, welcome you into the world of craft beer, great wine, and good food. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.
Some good news. Tens of millions of Americans should be getting their stimulus checks by this Wednesday. Payments were seen deposited as early as Friday night, which was days ahead of schedule. The money is part of a $2 trillion coronavirus relief bill passed last month. Qualifying taxpayers can expect anywhere from $1,200 to $2,400 based on their 2018 and 19 incomes and filing statuses. Social Security recipients are expected to get payments later this month. Paper checks should go out starting early May. Giant Company updates its social distancing policies to promote safe in-store environments. Starting today, that includes limiting the numbers of customers in its stores at one time to provide a safe shopping environment for both customers and team members. The numbers vary on store location, occupancy, and selling square footage. Giant's also asking its customers to limit the size of their shopping party to 1 member per household as much as possible. On top of their other recent safety measures, a Giant team member will be stationed at the front entrance, tracking shopper flow to capacity, and new customers will be allowed inside on a one-in, one-out fashion. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. You can get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page or WYLNTV.com by clicking the LVHN banner for the real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. Look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone,